Great. Hope everybody's enjoying the conference so far. We have this last session is going to be our rapid review. We're going to call up Dr. Goulet for this part. He's going to join me. We're going to do this together in rapid review fashion, overviewing some of the content that we went over during the conference and also incorporating some of the questions from our audience. So, on that note, let me start with the question for Dr. Goulet. This is, let's say you have a family who's concerned about mom, brings mom in because they're concerned about her memory, and they believe she likely has dementia. Let's say you've even established a diagnosis of dementia. Okay, what do you do next? What's the workup for that?
Okay, so this is a person I've already seen. I've done the basic history and I've done some screening tools that we talked about to establish the diagnosis of dementia. The next part of the workup is to rule out other causes or other confounding differentials. So we would do a CBC, we would do a CMP, we would do a B12, a TSH, and maybe if we don't know about diabetes, we may do an A1C. Depending on the other risk factors, we'll probably also do an RPR and HIV. And if there's any concerns, we may do a drug screen and maybe even a heavy metal screen. Those are the two optional tests. In addition to that, we're going to do an MRI to look for other differentials, but also to look for the regional atrophy, because that might help us decide what kind of dementia they have, but also to rule out neoplasm, bleed, vascular dementia, and other confounding factors. All right, let's keep this going. Dr. George, your turn. Let's see. How does CKD lead to hyperparathyroidism, and how can that lead to diseases of the bone?
Okay, so CKD, chronic kidney disease, that leads to elevated levels of parathyroid hormone in three basic ways. So first off, the kidneys, as you know, are responsible for vitamin D activation. So it goes from the inactive form to the active form. So when you have chronic kidney disease, you're not efficiently activating vitamin D, so you have effectively low vitamin D levels. That leads to poor absorption of calcium, because vitamin D is instrumental in helping the calcium to be absorbed from the intestines. And then third, you also have poor filtration of phosphate, and so phosphate levels build up. All three of those, low vitamin D, low calcium, and elevated phosphate, stimulate the release of parathyroid hormone. When you have parathyroid hormone that goes up and you have elevated levels of parathyroid, that stimulates the bones to release calcium, putting your patient at risk for having more brittle bones, putting increasing risk of fragility, and making it more likely that they have osteoporosis.
Okay, great. All right, let's keep going.